So it's been quite a while since I've posted anything on YouTube. The last time I posted something, it was just like one video and it was really specific. But it's definitely been a long time since I've kind of posted on YouTube regularly. And, you know, I've given it some thought and I feel like I want to jump back into it. There are going to be some differences, so I feel like I'm kind of almost, not exactly starting again, but in a way I'm sort of starting again, and I feel like I'm starting from a different place, and what's going to be on my channel is going to be kind of different. Just really quickly, before we get into it, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button, and if you hit the bell button and you hit all notifications, then you should be notified every time I post a new video. So, as I was saying, I think that what I'm going to be posting on my channel is going to be a bit different to before. I want it to be different, I want it to be new, I want it to be fresh. And so I think the focus, obviously the focus is still going to be on fashion and positivity. That's what my focus always was. It was on fashion, and it was also on sort of like mindset, goals, you know, anything like that. But previously I only worked with the clothes that I had in my wardrobe, and now what I want to do is I want to work with, you know, clothes that maybe I don't have yet, and I want to be able to talk about all of those things because I have so many thoughts and feelings about all those things out there. So some of it is going to be about, you know, maybe punk goth clothing, because you all know that I really like anything edgy. It doesn't have to be officially punk, you know, it could be from anywhere, but I love edgy, individual, unique clothing. Some of it is going to be designers, some of it might be what I call sort of like lower designers, so some of it will be the super brands and then some of it won't be, sort of like that middle of the range, but that's still kind of designer. So yeah, it's going to be all sorts of different things. I had to give it some thought about how I was going to like balance out the long form content on here on YouTube between like the long form content that I've been creating for Patreon. And this might change, but at the moment what I'm thinking of doing is I'm thinking of doing sort of long form content on here, but then I might create, so I've started on TikTok, I've literally only just started creating different outfits, like sort of taking photos of different products, like the product images, and creating different outfits with things from all sorts of different brands. And I then thought, well, I might do that on Patreon, and now I'm thinking that I will do that on here, and what I'll post on Patreon will probably be outfits that you don't see on here or TikTok. Or you'll at least see like an early release, so you'll see that like, you know, before anybody else sees it. So, let's get into today's video. Now, today's video is going to be about vanity cases. I am really, really crazy about them. I know that they're kind of, I don't think you use the word controversial, that's probably a little bit intense for it, but I know that some people really like them and some people really don't. But for me, I'm really, really into them. I feel like they're really unique, they're really different. I love the fact that they're, obviously I'm talking about vanity cases because we've had them, it's kind of been a big trend maybe around last year. And so yeah, I really like them. I feel like the way that they open out gives you a lot of space. I feel like you can open them up and you can look into them and you can sort of see everything, like in the space, whereas often when you open a bag, it's quite thin, and so then you're looking around and then you're trying to rummage in it, and then you're sort of, you know, and then you try to rummage in it without looking, and then you rummage in it with looking and you still can't see anything because it's quite narrow. And so that's what I really like about the vanity cases. Now, I haven't actually tried them in person yet, but that's what I suspect from what I see. I feel like they open out. Now, that could also be a little bit tricky because, you know, the way, like, if you've got the strap across your body and then you have to really lift the whole lid up, that might be a bit tricky, but I still think that there'd kind of be a lot of room in them. Like, I like the way it's all laid out. So let's look at a few of them. Okay, we're going to start with, which ones we're going to start with? I don't even know, I haven't decided. Okay, let's start with Dior. I really, really like some of the ones from Dior. Now, I think the first one I probably saw was the black one. I really like that because, you know, I think it would go with everything. But they have loads of different colours, and don't quote me on it. Like, I don't know whether I'm going to I probably won't put all of the colours on here, but I'll put up quite a few. So I think there's one in... Oh, now, firstly, we have to talk about the fact there are two kind of different styles that I've seen by them. So one of them is like the vanity case. I don't think it has a chain, but it's kind of like, you know, the ones that are more like cloth, and then you have the others that are actually, you know, a good bit more expensive, that are, you know, not, you know, like a different material. They look more like an actual bag that you would bring out, and those would have the, I'm pretty sure those have the chain across. The ones that are just material I probably wouldn't get because I don't think I'd be able to use it for me as like a normal bag. I do think some of them are really nice, but I think if it was me, I think I would go for one of the others. I really like the others. Oh, and I also forgot to say they actually have is it called the micro version? It's definitely a much smaller version of it. Now, I'm not sure whether you can fit an iPhone in that, so I probably wouldn't get that, because if you couldn't, then it wouldn't fit my needs. But I do really like the bigger version. I think it's really, really nice. So yeah, like I said, they do have the black one. What is it? There's like a light, I think there's like a light blue, and it's almost like a sort of like a greenish one that I think is really, really nice. Oh, what else is there? Like I said, I think there were loads of different colours. I think there's almost like is it like a brown fawn? Now, I don't wear brown a lot, but I think a lot of people do. For a lot of people, like, it would probably be a really good idea, because for anyone who wears brown, or even like sort of like beigey, or like maybe pale pink tones, anything like that, like neutral colours, would be something that would be really handy. I really like the teal. I really like the one that it's literally, to me it looks like teal, and it's a really, really strong colour. I prefer the gold zip, and the teal one only has the silver zip. But I really like this because for me it would actually go with most of what I have in my wardrobe. And I think for a lot of people it wouldn't, but for me personally, because of the colours that I have in my wardrobe, it would. So as you know, I wear a lot of purple, so I've got purple lipstick on now. This is a purple scarf by Desigual that I literally just wear all the time. This is my mustard blazer from Zara that, oh, I'm really, really obsessed with it. But the ribbon was added, so I had this added, actually because there was a mark on the back of it, so I actually did it to save it, and it created a totally new piece of clothing. But yeah, I mean, I really love mustard, so, I mean, teal wouldn't go so crazy with red. You could probably get away with it, but it would be like a bit of a clash, but you could do it. Mustard, it would just look amazing with, and purple it would look really good with as well. Like, I just think those colours for me go really, really well. And then there's fuchsia. So this is a top that I'm wearing all the time. I got it from Karen Millen. I'm really, really obsessed with this. And then I bought this one from Zara recently, just for the summer. So yeah, you know, teal goes really fantastic. For me, teal goes really fantastic with these colours. So yeah, that's why it's something, that particular colour is something that might not work, you know, that might not work for other people, but it's something that would definitely work for me, and I'd get a lot of wear out of that. So let's move on to Louis Vuitton. So these were things, you know, I think they're all over social media. There's certainly things bags that I'm used to seeing a lot. So they had these two. So there was the black version and the white version. I personally think they're both really, really cool. I really like the black version. I think the black version is really, really awesome. But yeah, I think these were really popular. And then we have the Vanity bags by Saint Laurent. Now, I was really fascinated by these because, you know, I'd looked at so many Saint Laurent bags. I'd looked at so many of them online, and I've been searching and searching, and I had never seen these, so I think they might have come out fairly recently. But yeah, I mean, I hadn't seen them at all, never seen anything like this. And then suddenly I saw it on one of the shopping sites I was on. I suddenly saw it, and I was just fascinated because, you know, for me it's a great combination, because I am quite interested in Saint Laurent, because the price is still, I feel like it's moving up, but the price still isn't kind of at where, let's say, like Dior, Louis Vuitton, and definitely not where Chanel would be. It's not kind of at that level, but it's definitely a brand that's kind of making its way up there. But I really like some of their bags, and I'm really obsessed with the Vanity case because I think it's really unique, and yeah, I just think it's really different. So when I saw these, I just thought, oh, you know, I just thought it was perfect. So I've only seen them in 3 colours. So I've seen the black, which, you know, is great. You would literally just wear it with everything. And then you've got it's almost kind of like a white. Well, it's not really white. I think it's more cream, isn't it? It's more cream, or like ecru, I think. It's not like completely white, but I prefer that anyway. I would prefer cream or an ecru to white, to be honest. And then the red one. I can't remember which one I saw first, actually. Was it the red or the black one I saw first, and then I came across the ecru one? I don't even know how you choose between these, because I think all of the colours are fantastic. I love the red. I'm really, really obsessed with it, but I think the red would only go with limited number of things, or limited number of colours. If you were wearing something with red, that'd be great. If you were wearing something, but if you were wearing a top like this, it might actually be too much, but you could still do it. If you were, and it would really work best with an all black outfit, I think. It would look great with all black. It would also look great, actually, if you had, like, say, an all black outfit with like bits of gold you know, with big accessories in gold, that would look really, really nice. You could maybe get away with purple. It would be like that classic alternative clash. I don't know how many of you here actually know about sort of like alternative clothing, but I remember when I was a teenager, it was a massive thing that if you were not necessarily goth, but if you were kind of like goth, indie, alternative, a lot of those groups would wear purple and red together, but nobody else wore it because it was a total clash. So you could get away with that, but I think you're mostly talking black and gold would be the colours that you'd be wearing, mostly black. But I really, really like it, and here's the thing, I feel like I'm really picky with red bags, or red anything. Like, I feel like I love the colour red, but when it comes to clothing, I have to really like the shade. I really like that. With pink, I'm even worse, because I was always kind of, because I was kind of goth, I was always like, no, I don't do pink, definitely don't do pink. And then I got into fuchsia, which is like a really specific shade, really strong shade. I'm not as bad with red, but I'm kind of similar, so I feel like it has to be a particular shape. But the thing is with red, I don't even know how to explain it without actually, I don't know how to actually express it without actually seeing it. So I'll see something, I'll be like, not crazy on that shade, and then I'll see another one and I'm like, yes. And when I saw this shade of red, that's how I felt. I was like, yes, that's just, it was just a really, really nice shade. And then there's the ecru one. I think for a lot of people it's perfect. It would probably go with like everything in someone's wardrobe. For me, not quite so much. Like I said, I wear colours like, you know, it's definitely not something that's going to go with mustard, but it would still go with a lot of things. It would go with black. It would look fine with black. Again, not mustard, not gold really, not if you had a lot of it on, but it would definitely go really well with black. It would also go well with purple, fuchsia, teal, which again, in my case, those are the colours in my wardrobe. It's probably not what's in your wardrobe, but those are the main colours in mine. But again, if you wear a lot of black, or if you're into nude or baby pink or anything like that, it would work with that as well. So those are my thoughts on the Vanity case. You know, let me know what you think, because, you know, I've seen some other people talking about it as well, like some channels that I follow that I'm really, really into. I've seen other people speaking about it, but I know that everybody feels so differently about it, so I'd love to know what you think. But I really felt like I wanted to talk about this, because, not so much because it's a trend, like I don't always, you know, focus on trends or think about trends, but because it's a trend that I particularly like and that I was particularly into, and that I was like really obsessed with, I thought I really have to do this. If you've seen any other brands doing the Vanity case as well, let me know, because I'd love to see like what other designers are creating with it. So these are the main ones that I've seen, but I'd love to know if you've seen any others. So thank you for watching. Again, this is like the first video of like my new content, so I'm really excited about it. I hope that you enjoyed it or that you got something from it. If you've not hit the subscribe button, feel free to hit that. That would be really great. And I'll leave my Instagram handle down there. Thank you, and I will see you soon.